Hey everyone, here is our lesson on rearranging equations. This is part of your homework that's due on Thursday at the start of class. What you're going to do is take the notes that I give you. You're going to complete the example problems that I have. You're going to try 3 problems. That'll be like your work session. You'll do those on your own. And all of that is due at the start of class. And I mean all of it, not just the notes or the problems. Every piece that I just mentioned is due. You're going to have to forgive me because I have to take pictures of these and then draw on them because my smartboard software wore out on this, but it's not too clunky to look at, which is good. Let's go ahead and get some problems, try them out. So rearranging equations is basically solving for a certain variable, and you've been doing this for a long time. Let's start with these questions right here. When we look at this equation and this equation, what we'd be asked to do is to solve for x. So let's go ahead and do that. When I'm solving for x on this first one, I would try and isolate the variable, get it by itself. I'd add 6 to both sides. I'd be left with 2x equals 16, and I'd divide by 2 on both sides, and I would get x equals 8. So basically what we did, if we go back to our title slide of rearranging equations, we took our equation from the start, we rearranged it to have x be by itself. Perfect. Let's try this one over here. I'll do this one in yellow. This equation, we're going to do the same thing. The first thing we do is we add 3 to both sides to isolate our variable, since we're trying to solve for x. We have negative 3x equals 15. Divide both sides by negative 3, and x equals negative 5. So again, we rearranged our equation to get our variable by itself. We isolated that variable, kind of manipulated with some math and inverse operations to get our variable by itself. But let's look at this one down here. This one says, given this equation, solve for a. Now, we are going to do exactly the same thing as we did on this equation and this equation, but we're just going to solve for a instead. All right, we're just going to solve for a. So we're going to manipulate, move items around, move the other variables around, solving for a. We do exactly the same thing as any other 1, 2, 3, 5-step equation. So right now a is being multiplied by x, and I've got this extra subtraction of b. So let's take care of that by adding b to both sides. So here I have ax equals. Now, c and b are not like terms, so you can't combine them. It's kind of like 2x plus 4c. You cannot combine those together. So we would leave them apart, c plus b. To get a by itself, since we're solving for a, we just divide by x on both sides. And my final answer is a equals c plus b divided by x. That is all I do. So notice how in each one of our examples, x is by itself, x is by itself. In this case, we were solving for a is by itself. So the idea of rearranging equations is getting a variable by itself. You can do this with numbers like we did in these 2 examples, or you can manipulate and move around letters just like this one. Variables follow the same rules as regular numbers. So let's try a few more examples. We'll do some simpler ones first, and then we'll get on to some more difficult ones. Actually, before we do that, this type of equation where you have variables is called a literal equation. So a literal equation is an equation where variables represent known values. Literal equations allow us to represent things like distance, time, interest, and slope as variables in an equation. We've looked at a lot of literal equations. Slope-intercept formula is a literal equation. The quadratic formula is a literal equation. If you're a science person, the formula to find distance is a literal equation. To find the velocity, to find anything pretty much that has more than one variable is considered a literal equation. So again, let's try a few. Let's start with this one right here. So this is the slope-intercept equation, and we are going to solve that for x. If my little screen thing decides it wants to show up. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So we're going to solve this equation for x. Let's start with doing that. I'm going to rewrite it over here just so it's a little larger. The first thing I notice is that x is being multiplied by m, and we've got this additional plus b on the side, so we need to get rid of that first. So we're going to subtract b on both sides. So I have y minus b, and remember, I cannot combine those because y and b are not like terms. Y minus b equals mx. I want to get x by itself, so I divide by m on both sides, and I have x equals y minus b divided by m. And I'm done. I can't combine any of those together. None of those are like terms. And I've basically gotten my x by itself by manipulating these variables, moving them around by inverse operations, just like I would with numbers. Let's try more of a science example. Distance, time, and speed. Distance equals speed times time. The D in this stands for distance, S stands for speed, T stands for time, and what we're going to do is solve for speed. This is a pretty simple one. So if I rewrite that over here, distance equals speed times time. I know my T's lowercase, but we're going to solve for speed. We're going to isolate S. So let's eliminate the T. Right now, S is being multiplied by T, so the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So speed equals distance divided by time. And we are done because S is by itself. We solved for speed. Our last three are a little complicated, but it all has to do with the same formula. I wanted to show the same formula solved for different variables so you could see the differences. So let's start with solving this equation here for P. So we have A equals P times 1 plus RT. Now, if you notice, P is being multiplied by 1 plus RT, that whole quantity. So if we can just divide that quantity out, we'll be done with the problem. So let's divide both sides by 1 plus RT. 1 plus RT. Those cancel. We're left with P equals A divided by 1 plus RT. And you are done. Solved for P. P is by itself. Let's try another one. Let's do this one in green. Solve for R. A little more complicated, but it's really not so bad. So we have A equals P times 1 plus RT. I notice R is in the parentheses, so we got to get rid of this P first because that P is being multiplied to everything. So we could do one of two things. We could use the distributive property and multiply it out, or we could divide P right away. Let's do distributive property just for something different. So P times 1 is P. P times RT is PRT. Maybe you're hopefully it's not just me seeing the word party every time I write that. All right, again, I'm trying to get R by itself. Right now we've got this plus P, so let's take it away. Minus P on both sides. So we have A minus P equals PRT. And we notice these are being multiplied together, so all we have to do is divide those quantities out. So let's divide both sides by P and T, because that'll cancel the T's, and that'll cancel the P's as well. So cross those out. We have R equals A minus P divided by P times T. And we're all done. Again, R is by itself, and all we did was manipulate our numbers, add, subtract, multiply, divide, to get them by themselves. We moved them around just like numbers. Let's try our last one. We have A equals P times 1 plus RT. We're going to solve this one for T. So this time we won't do distributive property. We'll look at a different way to do this. So let's divide by P first to get that larger quantity away. So we have A divided by P equals 1 plus RT. I took away these parentheses because now that we're not multiplying by P, we don't really need them anymore. We'll subtract 1 on both sides. So we have A divided by P minus 1 equals RT. And to get T by itself, we divide by R. So our final answer is how I'm going to write it, just to make our lives a little simpler so I don't have to deal with these fractions, is A divided by P minus 1 divided by R equals T. It's because we divided this whole quantity here by R. So again, T is by itself, and all we did was move variables around. All right. Now you're on to your work session problems. These are the 3 work session problems that I would like you to do. The first one you're going to solve, all of them you're going to solve for x. Oops. Each one, move variables around as you need. This number 3, this is 3ax plus 2b divided by c equals 4 times d. So good luck on those. Let me know if you have questions in class. Review the video as needed, and just remember, when you do problems like this, you are not going to screw anything up by moving variables around and not combining them. That's really the idea of rearranging equations.